Okay, here we go. What we're going to do here, this is going to be the second video in our basically how we do it. Not how to, just my little personal quirk. I don't like to tell you guys how to do things. I'll gladly show you how we do it. So this is a Howie video. What I'm going to do here, these are scrap pieces of teddy bear fur. Actually, these were ones I was kind of playing with back when I did the other teddy bear fur field a couple videos ago. And these are the scrap pieces. And this little section here, between the tracks, between the industrial siding and the main line, in the prototype that we're following, is basically just a field. There's been some good suggestions to put like put a building there, or to put an old foundation of a torn out building, but I'm going to remain pure to the simple field, which is the way it is. So what we're going to start off with, all I've done is take this little scrap piece and kind of used this along the edge of the railroad out here, and on this piece I brought it down almost right down to the backing of the fur, because that's going to be right next to the track over there. And I did a similar thing along this side with this. Just brought it down, took out a section in the center for a path, and that's all I've done. That's it. And again, these are scrap pieces. Okay, I did trim a little bit with scissors, which I did not show, but scissors. These are big blue. I love them. So I did go in and just kind of knock it down a little bit, because it was a little bit too long, but that's it. That's all I've done. Nothing else. So we're going to start off. I don't know how it's going to... I have no idea what I'm going to do, to be honest. Other than I'm going to put these down. These aren't real pieces that I was going to use, because if you can notice, if I kind of zoom in here, you probably can see the shade's a little bit different. I was playing with different paints, so the shade is different between these two sides. So I don't know. I might be ripping this all out again, but I figured, hey, you know what? Let's do it. Let's put it down. Let's film it. If it's terrible, I'll never post it. But let's just see what happens. So this is start. I'm telling you guys, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have some ideas, but how I'm going to match it in, what I'm going to do here, because it's two pieces. How I'm going to match it into this existing stuff here, what I'm going to do here. I really don't know yet. But hey, let's give it a shot. So let's get started. This again might be a little bit of a long video, but you're going to see exactly what I do, and the results, good, bad, or ugly. We'll see. Here we go. All right, let's see here. First up, all I'm going to do, just real roughly, is just mark the end here, just so I know. Just basically so I don't get glue everywhere. I'll probably just bring it right up to the track. Back here doesn't really matter. I'm going to cover it with scenery, but we'll go ahead and do that with my trusty red Sharpie. Gotta love Sharpies. Alright, get the fur out of there. What is that? Oh, I better clean that up. Hold on a second, let me pause. Leftover, just so it lays nice and flat. Get that out of there. There's this out a little bit there too. So a little bit of sculpt the mold. Get back from the nice ballast that I just finished. Alright, hold your ears. Okay, now to glue this down, all I use wood glue. Good old wood glue. Of course, if I can get it open. There we go. You don't need tons of this because it does work fairly well. Just gonna go along in there and Like I had said, for those of you that may have watched, I don't know. I just posted it, so we'll see what kind of comments we get. But on the Howie video and the ballast, normally I'd have this done first, and I would bring the ballast up to, up to the scenery. But this is a little bit backwards, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So I just want to be a little bit careful bringing the glue over there on that side. Do. Spreading the glue. How are you? Need some more of you, Mr. Glue. Alright. Isn't that special? Just want to do it so it doesn't bubble up or have a high spot or anything. So get this nice and even. You don't want it to ooze out, but you want to make sure that everything stays in place. I guess, like I know what I'm doing. Okay. Awesome. Awesome sauce. All right, now let's take our TBF. Teddy bear fur. Get out there, give it a little shot. Yeah, it's a little bit more. Side, corner there. It's kind of oozing through, but not a big deal because it's all going to be covered up anyway. I got glue on my fingies. And I'll take this little piece and just put it somewhere in here. I don't know, something like that. How's that grab you? All right, good. There we go. Now, I do have to let this set up a little bit. Yeah, I really don't know if I'm going to make this work right. All these gaps and different colors. This will be a challenge. So this will be the path. As I mentioned, I did come down here as well with the with this. Woohoo! And I did just gonna put that out. I think I may have a path here, maybe some bushes. I don't know. I really don't know yet. Okay. That's going to set a little bit. I want to go clean the brush, get the glue off it. Alright, that's ready for the next adventure. Alright, so that's it. That's how you put it down. That's how it looks. Alright, we go clean that brush, and then we'll forge ahead. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take some of this dark earth, which is like kind of a gray color, from Vallejo Acrylics. I kind of like this stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put that just here along the tracks to kind of make it nice and gray. Maybe even up in here. I don't know. Why not, right? Like I said, I don't know exactly how this is all going to turn out, but we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to take some of this. Just get it in there. Spread it down. There. Down with the ballast. This is why I normally would not have the ballast done first. Just because I've got to be a little more careful. I have to do some remedial ballasting there to cover that up, but that's okay. That's fine. Alright, now stop complaining and do it. So. Here. Yeah, whoa. A little too aggressive there. Kind of build it over here, kind of blends that far edge, sort of the teddy bear fur. Ah, there we go. Now from here out, I probably could just paint it if I really wanted to. Because this is, you can see that this is asphalt here, and then coming down to. Up ballast. It's going to give us kind of the road along the side there. But just for fun, here's what we're going to do. Look at that. You see, again, I forget I got the camera going, so I apologize if things are hard to see. Get that up to the siding here. This is going to be the base level. Then we're going to do something, I don't know what yet, to blend it in. I really don't know. I'm not worried about it being super smooth because it's going to be covered with other stuff. Let's see here. All I'm going to do is just do a little bit at the far end here. Just more for consistency's sake than anything. Kind of going over what I already did there, making a mess of the hickey wild grass I have over there. I don't know. Sounded like a plan when I started. In fact, I'm even gonna go crazy and bring up some here on the tracks. This is all buried back here in the gook and the muck. Let's see if I can make that work. Now, I'm not gonna go much further than this just because I don't know yet what I'm doing on this side. I'm making a mess of my scenery there. Oh my goodness. As the track disappears into Neverland. Okay. Yeah, good enough. That's it. Now let me just come back up here. I can let this set a little bit. Then I'm not going to worry too much about it being uber smooth. It's kind of a hard angle for me. Sorry about this getting in your way, but try to do something here and it's just not working. Okay. Alright, so it's coming out of the tripod there. You kind of see how that looks, and that's just kind of a base layer to kind of do some initial blending. Okay, let's keep moving ahead. Okay, so while that dark earth is setting, it takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. What I guess I'm going to do is come back in and start working this side from the track down into here. Now this track, you know, at one point in time would have had ballast. It's long since seen its any type of tender loving care. So I might start off with, I know I'm just grabbing stuff here. Alright, this is some of the highball and scale light gray, and I got some of the, let's go with that. I have some other stuff in here. Here's some gray. This is, I think, Arizona Rock and Minerals Industrial Dirt. I think that's what it is. Alright, so let's got some other dirts here, but just for now, just to start off something, just going to put a little bit in here. Again, this whole siding is going to be pretty much weed covered and still usable. I still do want to bring some cars into the siding, and I'm not going to worry a whole lot about it looking beautiful. In fact, it's probably more work to make it look unbeautiful. Let's get some of this down. I'm not going to go basically from here. I'm not going to worry too much on this side because I'm not really ready to blend that side in yet. Alright, so that's something. There's, see, from whatever the last days that it saw any type of anything. I'm just gonna throw some in here. Oops. See, here we go. Sorry guys, I'm not sure you can see everything I'm doing. I'm just gonna add some more up in here. Yeah, whatever. Let's bring some up to the, let's come across the crossing. Alright. How's that grab you? Alright, now let's go back here again. I'm not used to working like this. Now, let me see here. What I do? A little bit of dirt just to put something in there. Like I said, this is what is this? Monster Model Works Diorama Dirt that I've sifted once. So I call this fine. I have some extra fine that I really like, but I like the color. I think it's a good dirt color. See, as a base layer I'm going to put down. This is from Scenic Express. It's their dirt. It's a lot darker. It doesn't take the wet water mixtures quite as well. I noticed. I can make it work, but this is really just kind of get some type of filler in here between the track and the teddy bear. Again, this is going to be a beat up old siding. Not too worried about it. Get dirt everywhere. It's like, oh well. So, around here, there we go. You get some dirt too. Sure. There you go. How's that grab you? Nice. Okay. So this is just kind of whatever. There's kind of some dirt going in there along the tracks. And I bear the ties. I bear the ties. Oh well. Okay. Just gonna build that up, make it look like it's coming off of the then we're going to do some blending with some other foliage stuff to kind of blend that in. Okay. Actually, I'm trying to run out of this. I might have to order some more. There we go, something like that, whatever. Yeah, just for fun, here's some Woodland Scenics burnt grass. That's a good color. Try to get some of that in there. There you go. Alright. Again, this, because this whole siding is pretty. Definitely seen better days, that's for sure. Okay. What else? Here's some of the industrial dirt. This is kind of a nice, nice gray color. Just, again, just for a little bit of variety. You can see I don't think much about this. I do got to come down this side and kind of blend this into the just a touch, just for fun. Okay. Now I'm going to come back with some of this N scale ballast to kind of come over here and blend this into the start of that area a little bit finer. I didn't paint along there like I did with the other ballast, so like I said, it's starting to fall down, and now it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's okay. Yeah, it definitely is, but whatever. I've been waiting for this stuff to dry. I mean, I'm just forging ahead here. That's okay. I'm not going to put any of the wet water down in the adhesive just yet. I'll let that base stuff kind of set up. I just want to kind of see how I can blend it in here a little bit. And then like I mentioned before, this is a bunch of dirt that I found along the railroad tracks. Kind of a nice, well, it's kind of prototypical because, like I said, it is. It is from the prototype. Oops, a little heavy there. Oh well. I just want to really kind of lightly give that some highlights. Then I'm going to come over this with some ballast. I don't think it's really going to hurt this that much. So this is kind of another base layer going in there. Back here. I'll sprinkle that in there. Oops. A little heavy there. Oh well. Again, I don't really plan this. I just kind of go, you know? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Alright. I can live with that. And then set along this side, since this is along the railroad, and they have access, sort of, to get up this way. A little bit of this in there, just for a little bit of variety. A little bit of a lighter color. Blend in with what I did up here. Let me get my other, as I reach in front of the camera, I should reach over the camera. This is even a little bit different color. How's that grab me? I'm gonna be a little bit too light. What the heck. Okay. So that's kind of the scruffy along the track look. Let me give it some of this industrial dirt. This tends to darken a little bit as it gets the stuff on. If I don't like it, I'll just come back and do some more. Redo it, different color. I will probably come back and then do some more ballast along the shoulder there. Okay. Alright. I can live with that. Now let's see. How do I want to do that path? I think I'm going to put some of this darker dirt. Oh, it's going to work okay. I'm just going to put it right back there. Right on top here. Actually, that might help. I'm going to hold it in there. Go along the edge there. Yeah, okay. I can live with that. Now for the path, I don't want to go with some super fine. So this has been sifted through a lady's stocking that I borrowed from my wife. Don't tell her. I'm definitely getting low on this. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just gonna look like there's some dirt down there. People would sneak out to the tracks. Those terrible rail fans getting out that way. It looked like maybe there used to be a little bit of a, I don't know why you'd have the path there, but whatever. Things in the real world don't always make sense. I won't disturb that too much. Like I said, I'm going to come back in here and put some of our adhesive mixture. I want to wait a little bit. Some of the darker dirt over here. That's for the fun of it. Build it up a little bit. And let it fall down in there. Okay. Live with that. A touch more. So to check it also on the view. Can you see that? I guess. Alright, I'm going to come in with a little bit of my favorite. Woodland Scenic's burnt grass. Awesome color. Just a little bit. It's kind of some of that low, scrubby stuff that always seems to be everywhere. That's a good color, a good blending color. Okay, so now, how you doing there, teddy bear? Well, not sure how that looks. Can you guys see that? So we kind of started along the edge there. Got some dirt put in, got the track started. Still a long ways to go. And that path back along the main line there. Out to this edge. I have an idea how we're going to hide that edge. Kind of working that gray area in. So there you go. Alright, gotta let this set up a little bit, then we'll be back. Alright, what I think I'm going to do for this big area here, got some of the same ballast that we use for the track, because this is going to be pretty much just a, a big ballasty type area. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle some of the same ballast in there. Kind of came over from the railroad. I guess I can work, kind of blend it in along here. Get a light covering the ballast. A little heavier over toward the actual tracks. Now I do have a shed I wanted to put in there, but I'll be darned if I can find the thing. Would have been perfect because it's almost very similar to the one that's actually there at the actual crossing, but for the life of me I cannot find it. I actually may need to get my other brush. Yeah, let me do that. Alright, I just want to get my ballast brush because this works a little bit better for this. Blending this in here. I got all that blended in. Alright, so what else I want to do in this area? And now I'll come in with some of the industrial dirt. Again, that's a nice kind of a gray. Just gonna sprinkle some of that stuff around. Just for the fun of it. See, that's part about having a gray color underneath. If it stays there and shows through, it's not that big a deal. Because it kind of looks like that's the kind of situation you would have there. Okay. A little bit along here. Not too bad. Okay. Now I'm going to go with a little bit of the railroad dirt, soil stuff. Not a lot. I just want to kind of, Okay, good. You can always fine tune things later. All right. Let's see. Let me take a pause and get a look at it and see what's next. Okay, one more thing that I found in my bag of tricks. Some more dirt. I think I got this on the tracks as well, but I like it. So I'm going to do just kind of, because you know most of these beat up old tracks are going to cover with a dark, gritty mixture of earth. This is not woodland syndic soil, but I kind of like the color. So I'm going to kind of use this to come up the siding here. A little bit down this way. I'm probably going where you can't see, but I'm just kind of going up this way. Yeah, I like this color. This is a nice color. Not quite as dark as the other color. Get off the rails there. Okay. And some of that soily old stuff that's along the railroad tracks. And then I'm even going to put a little bit. This is just regular old gray ballast. Because usually these areas are a mess of just different gravels and dirts and mixtures of stuff. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, I'll put some here on the side. Why not? This siding deserves a little love too. Okay, there we go. Now might be time to do a little bit. Let's see what it's looking like overall here. Might be time to do a little bit of the wet water and glue to kind of get that first kind of layer down and set, and then come back later and do some more. So let me see if I can get that taken care of. Alright, so all I'm going to do now, and I'll probably speed this up because it's not that exciting, is just take the wet water and start getting things wet. Coming in with the adhesive, do the whole area, let it set. Probably let it sit overnight, to be honest, just to get it down before we start the next layer, and then move on from there. So maybe I'll let this go and then we'll crank the speed up. Through the magic of video editing, this will only take about 1 minute. Let the glue is on, let that sit. And let it sit overnight. Let everything kind of solidify. And then you can see the colors change a little bit when you get the water and glue on it. And some will change back and some won't, which is kind of fun. Then we'll come back and start working on the rest of the field tomorrow, as we kind of blend things in. And I got to try to find that darn little relay shed. I know I have it. But you hate it when you have something, you put it away, then you can't find it. All right, anyway, so we'll be back as we continue on here after this all dries up. All right, we're back. It's the next morning, and I started working and, again, forgot to turn the camera on. So I did a little bit, and I'll show you what I did. Because what I was doing last night, after this first layer got down, I went and looked at some prototype photos. Now this, I'm not trying to do it exactly, but this is sort of, well, this is Lake City. This is the exact location, and this is the spur track. So that's the spur track. There's the relay box, which I did find, by the way, in the drawer. I don't know why it wasn't the drawer it was in, but anyway. Here's the field, which is this field. Now, looking at this, the one thing I noticed is, and that's just more detail looking across the crossing, and I did also print a Google map image, that being the relay shed, main line crossing, and then the spur track. And I don't have it exactly like this. I don't have this road in here, which would cross here over the spur track. I didn't do that just because of room. And the grass wasn't quite as high. So, and look at this field. I can't do a whole lot, but what I've been doing, you can kind of see the teddy bear lynching there. I just kind of came in and was just trying to make it a little bit lower, just to try to make it. I probably shouldn't have used, if I was going to really worry about it, which I'm not. If I was going to make it just like the prototype there, I probably shouldn't use teddy bear fur. The field isn't quite, it's just more just kind of like rough grass, where this is going to give me more of a field grass type look, which is fine. It's not a big deal. So I'm just taking big blue here and just kind of carefully. I tried the trimmer. They didn't seem to work all that well. I'm not saying I had the best pair of trimmers. That's actually a pair of trimmers I bought to use for my hair. Anyway, so I'm just going to kind of knock this down a wee bit, just so it's not quite as tall. Oh, gee, see, I kicked the tripod. All right, I'm going to just finish vacuuming it up and get ready for the next step here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. All right, again, I got working. I forgot about the darn camera. I'm still new at this. What I might do, since I'm looking at the prototype photos, it's a little bit more green than I thought. And that's what I mean by that is, again, not that I'm trying to duplicate this exactly, but see, here's the shed, the track, had a little bit of ballast and scruffy and fallen leaves, and then right away it's green. And I just felt I had a little bit too much of the gray there. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of Silflor. This is the what is it? It's got the little buffalo grass. I mean, it might be called buffalo grass because it has little tufts in it. And this is a scrap piece. I never throw away anything from Silflor. A, it's so expensive, and B, you can use the drop pieces quite a bit. And then you can take it and you can, I'm going to stretch it out, put some bare spots that I can put some dirt into, etc., etc. I might put a piece there, and then along in here, what I may do, this is just some scrap pieces of the 4mm. Is it High Lawn? I forget. Again, I apologize, guys. Usually I buy stuff, I just take it out of the box and I use what looks right. So I don't worry about part numbers and whatnot, but it is a Silflor matte. Now the colors obviously are way off, but we can blend that in later. And then these pieces, like I say, I could take a piece like this. You can rip it real fine. Yeah. And what I I may do, let's see here. And this is a possibility. I thought about using the Hecky 2mm mat because it's nice and flat, but that I'm kind of keeping that for lawns, so I want to keep some consistency there, so I'm not going to use that. But this, again, you can, loose pieces. You can stretch it out nice and thin. And then maybe work it in here. Something like that. That's not the final set, but we'll come back and glue that in, so that gives you a little bit of a transition here. And then we'll have to work on matching the colors. So I might do that. Like I said, you can take these scrap pieces and then you can just rip it. Don't worry about being pretty. You can always put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And then again, I might keep that open because there's a little bit of a path there. You know what I mean? Then you can just kind of, that even kind of matches in. You probably can't. Is that in the viewfinder? No, sorry. So let me. You can even do some matching between this into this. And heck, you probably can even take some of this real small pieces and use it to match in here. That gives you your transition up to the, something like that. That kind of looks like a transition up to the teddy bear fur. So, alright, so that's what I'm probably going to think about. And I'll try to remember to turn the camera back on. Let me just do a little bit more thought here, and then we'll get back and actually put this stuff in. Alright, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to use just some of this is Beacon 3-in-1 glue. Good stuff. I think now you can even buy this like at Walmart. I don't know, but some I bought at Scenic Express, but you can find it locally most likely. So we're just gonna go for it and see how this looks. I'll take these and then take some of the. I just take the glue. Don't go medieval on it, just get some in there so it sticks down. Alright, that'll be good. Does get a little stringy at times. Yeah, something like that. Sounds good. Okay, take this out for a moment. How am I doing that? Yeah, like that. Okay. Stuff can be stringy. Stringy. Something like that looks acceptable to me. Okay, now, again, this is all kind of beat up, scruffy grass, so you can go a little rough on it. Down, you down. Okay. Let's see. Here's a piece. And sometimes when you pull it, you gotta just do. See, there's some of the mesh. I don't know if you can see that. Just that's all gonna be hidden anyway by the time I get stuff done. But interloper there. Now, one of this thin stuff, you gotta be a little bit less aggressive with the glue, otherwise it may show through. But in certainly you can fix a lot of things. I'm just gonna kind of go like this, see how that looks. I don't know if that's gonna look right or not, but you know what, we're doing it. Okay, so we're not done yet. We're just gonna play in here, playing. A little bit here. One thing I notice is this darn stuff tends to bubble up. I don't know why. Ugh. So keep a paper towel handy to clean that mess off. Yeah. Now I'm kind of through. I don't have left or real scrap pieces. So, alright. Give that a pause. Hopefully that at least was somewhat visible. I don't know if you can really get it. That's kind of the start of getting that blended in. Still more work to do, but that's the start. Right there, then there's some at the far end and along the side in here. So, all right, so let's give this a pause. Figure out what I want to do next. All right, so now what I'm going to start doing is kind of blending things in a little bit with some other things out of my lovely little palette of scenic delights. So what I have is some Woodland Scenics brown earth, I think it is, and I got some of the other dirts, and I got some other, I think it's Arizona rock and mineral earth, as well as some of the Monster Model Works earth. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it around and try to get some variety. I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm just going to go for it. Alright, so I've got a scoop of this earth. And again, just kind of run around here. La, 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 la. This kind of tones down the green too. And then we'll work it in to the green areas, and it'll kind of settle in. And oops. Helps it look like a little bit more scruffy type grass. Some of this is going to want to pull away. darker stuff up here by the track. I would like to bury the track in grass, but you gotta be careful, especially if you still want to use the track. Sometimes you got to be aware of the fact that we do want to operate our model railroads, so we got to be careful exactly what we do. Just because you get too much grass, weeds, and stuff, it just interferes. A little bit of burnt grass, good color. Yeah, let's look at them more. See, it shows up real well with the angle I'm using. I apologize. That's pretty much all I got, guys. It does tone things down a little bit. And we're going to do a lot more to tone down the main field itself. Coming up shortly. Go with some of my darker railroad type earth back here along the railroad. Just gonna get some in around here. I'm not exactly sure why, but hey, that's what we're doing. Oh, nice little rock. Cool. Keep that there. I'll definitely keep that there. Let's see. I'm kind of working back there now. Again, this grass isn't well manicured, so don't worry if it rips up and looks a little shoddy at points, because that's the way it's going to look. Okay, not a bad start. I do like this color. I don't know why. Let's see. I can just kind of get some here. Just a little bit over the. We'll tone down some of that. You probably can't see because I did not move the. I'm just trying to tone down a little bit in here. Try to tone down along here and just try to give it a little bit of darker color, and that's going to fall through there, which is cool. Oops. Something like that. Maybe go up a little heavier back here just for the fun of it. grass in the gauge here. I probably will come back and put some tufts in there for some taller grass, just for fun. So be careful if you use the KD coupler pin doesn't trip on the, or doesn't get caught on the weeds and whatnot. But again, for a siding, you can always address that later. Pull weeds out or do whatever you gotta do. Okay. There's probably certain spots where this would actually even be buried. Maybe where people kind of walked across, if that's trying to simulate people walking across the tracks. Let's see if I can pull that off. Don't know. Might not look right. An awful lot there. Now again, you gotta be careful because, like I learned on the crossing, if you put too much in there, it's gonna impede your operation. Before I do much more, I'm going to test that with a car. A little bit of lighter green, yeah. Lighter earth color. Because this up here would be kind of scraggly. I just got rid of everything I wanted to keep there. Alright, I'm gonna pause, just get a car to run through that. Alright, got one of my European buddies here because of the larger flanges. That works. You can always come in and clean things up a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna go back. I kind of like the way it looked with just a little touch of the burnt grass showing up. Not too heavy, just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alright, thank you, Mr. European Freight Car. Okay, let me pause here till I figure out what's next. Alright, I'm just gonna... Don't know if this is right, don't know if it's wrong, whatever. That's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna come along here and kind of work in the edge. Again, from the railroad ballasted area back to the kind of the scruffy grass we're putting in here. Now, just kind of come along and just kind of hide the edge from the grass to the flatter areas there. Now, see, this stuff's going to come up, but we're going to come in here again with the wet water and the glue. And then you can always come back with tufts and, you know, other weeds and whatnot to hide, which I will do. So this is not by any stretch of the imagination done. I've got quite a bit of work to do yet. Okay. If you think it's too dark, you can always come back in with a little bit of the, you know, whatever color you like, and just kind of sprinkle it on there. But around railroads, it does tend to be darker and grittier, because that's what railroads are, dark and gritty. Okay. I need to elevate so I can see this far side. Yeah, I'm going to put some of the wooden scenic soil back here. I don't know why I'm going to. Maybe a little top there of the gray. Touch of gray. Yay! I kind of changed it a little bit because I don't really have a good path back there. Now the prototype does, but then again the prototype used to be a 4-track main line. So I'm just going to kind of leave it that they kind of pull their vehicles here if they need to get to the bungalow. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to give you guys the agony of watching. I'm just going to come around and all that stuff we just did, just put some of the wet water and the glue adhesive down. That's it. Just wherever I did that, just to get that started to settle. And then I got to figure out what I want to do with this. So I'll be back when that's done. Oops, I forgot again. Okay, so what I did here was I just protecting areas where I don't want hairspray to get. And then I have some tremendous pine foliage, hecky, fine leaf, I think a light green and a medium green. I have some, this is kind of like a fall blend. Use that sparingly, it's got some brighter colors in it. And then just kind of sprinkle it on there. And when I get it where I think I'm going to like it, we're going to just put some hairspray on it and secure it in. Now the hecky stuff is a little bit brighter, so I like to use a little bit more sparingly. And some is going to go into the path and, well, whatever. But then again, in the field, I don't think it's, they worry about how neat they are. Can even let some go up into the stuff up here by the track. Do a little bit of this brighter color stuff. And I want to be careful with this because it is pretty noticeable. I also have an olive green color. Again, I like the hecky foliage and tremendous foliage because it's a little bit finer. Some of the knock leaves and even some of the woodland scenic stuff are just a little bit too coarse for this, because this isn't really meant to kind of look like a little bit of wild grass, not necessarily trees per se. And just kind of get some in there. You can always come back and do more. I'll go ahead and stop there and get the first layer secured and see if you can come back and see how things look later. It's always easy to add. It's much more difficult to take away. Darker stuff down here. Even go, because there's going to be trees nearby. This is a lot heavier. This is some MP Scenery dried leaves. I kind of like it for the look of just kind of some dried leaves laying around. I don't want to go too heavy on this, but looking at the field, this was all over it. Now, of course, I took a picture. It was in late September, which is kind of the time frame that we're modeling, so I don't think it's totally or not feasible that there would be all kinds of leaves tend to get everywhere. I'm telling you, they should be in the street, they should be on top of your houses, they should be in the lawns. Especially up here along the lake, we get all kinds of wind and it goes everywhere. Alright, I'm going to stop there. I don't want to go crazy on it. Alright, so that first level, I'm going to, well, first of all, get these out of here so I don't spray hairspray into them. Alright. Oh, geez, sorry about that. See? I'm so not used to this. Alright. And then I just have cheap Aquanet all-weather extra super hold. Yay. And then I don't want to go crazy on it, but I don't want to get my camera. Maybe I better be safe and just bring this back a little bit, eh? Last thing I want is hairspray on my lens. Okay. There is the first application of some of the leaf to kind of make that field look more like a field and not quite as teddy bearish. So we're not done yet, but that is kind of where we are here. I don't know how well it may show. Still have quite a bit of detailing to do yet, but this gets us a good base layer, and if it got distracted, had to go away, you could leave it like this. I mean, it's passable for now. It's not done, but it's passable. Okay. Back later. Okay, now what we're going to do, now that that's kind of drying up, and I got some of that leaf foliage in there, I'm going to come in, try to make a little variety in here. I'm going to use some Hecky Wildgrass. This is like a spring color. I also have similar stuff. It's like an alpine meadow. And I got two different flowering stuff from Polak. One is Short Flowers White. That I'm going to show up there. And the other is Short Flowers White Violet, because I like purple. So what we're going to do is just very, very gingerly take some of this. This is just to add a little bit of variety to the field, and just in different spots. Just kind of, you don't have to glue it in. You just kind of set it in there. This makes it look more wild. And this color is similar to what I had at the other end, so I'm kind of keeping a similar color tone. And this stuff can be pulled out and put just wherever you want, really. And then these are really nice. I really like these. And these, unfortunately, I shouldn't show them because they're not available in the United States. You got to buy them. I bought them from a gentleman in Germany. But again, they're similar to the wild grass, and you just kind of pull them apart. And I like using these kind of along the edges. Because in this field, I did notice white flowers in this field. And you just kind of stick them in there. There you go. Just trying to see if they're actually showing up on the video. Now, for the lavender, you want to be careful with that. You don't want to go crazy on it. I'm going to rip a couple pieces and tease them out real fine. And just in various spots, just gotta kind of stick it on in there, and see, for whatever reason, they kind of grew along this pad or whatever this is here. Okay. Now I'm going to try some of the alpine. This is a little more subdued color than the rather bright spring. There's no right or wrong way to this. You just kind of pick it, and you need to try to add some texture to the. Let me see where's a good spot here along here. Okay. Here's a real thin, stringy piece. Really, really thin, almost falling apart. Just kind of lay that in there and just boom, bada bing. That's just in there. Okay. You just kind of take it and pull it apart. Just starts to add texture. I don't know how well that shows up. Let's see here. Now back at this end, I'm going to need a little piece of this brighter spring. I'm going to work it in there. Okay, actually the alpine color is nice because it really kind of blends in and just builds texture. That's really what it's doing. So here's a real long piece. I'm going to pull it out real thin. bad boy in there. Oh yeah. Oops. I'm gonna go with some of the white. I'm just ripping this over the box just so it doesn't fall everywhere. Actually, it doesn't really matter if it falls on there, right? You can just take little patches of it, different areas. Just gonna It's nice. It's vertical. It gives you a little bit of variety. And you can stretch it nice and thin. Okay. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Now, let me see if I can take some of this white lavender and stretch it really, really thin. I mean, really thin. Let's see how we can do here. Just trying to stretch that out. And then what I want to do, big piece there. I'm going to pull that off. All right. I don't know how well that shows up here on camera, but you can see. Okay, kind of added that in there. More of this darker. This is the alpine wild grass. I like it. It kind of really subdues things. And remember before the big color difference, now you can hardly tell. Just kind of looks like a wild field. Take a bit more of the white. Really trying to make it thin. This you don't have to glue in there. It all kind of sticks in there nice. All right, how's that? All right, I like that. Now, let me just do one little thing here. I think I want to do is take a real longer thin piece. I don't know why, but I do. The edge of the path. also noticed what I think we need to do is similarly, I have to elevate for this, so let me reposition the camera. What I'm going to do is I want to come along kind of this outer edge. You can notice it more when you're looking from that side, but I just want to do a little bit there. Okay, that's pretty good. Then I think I also want to take a little bit of this darker alpine meadow. Take a piece of this, stretch it out nice. Gonna bring it along here, right along the edge there. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to let that simmer and then come back and maybe do some vertical stuff. Alright, so now what I want to do is come in with some, it's messy. This is the Hecky Floor, F-L-O-R. This is their medium green color. It's kind of a nice color. I'm going to use this for this. Again, this gives a little bit of variety, a little different texture. And again, you can pull it nice and thin. I'm going to use this for kind of right along the edge there, where it's a little bit more scruffy and grown up. Kind of blends it in there nice, I think. You may not think. And you can stretch this nice and thin. Right up to the rail there too, so I gotta be careful, but I'll just trim any errant pieces off. Oop. Work it in there to that piece of sulfur mat that's along there. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Now I don't know how this darker green may look. Let me try it. This is like a pine green color. It might be way too dark. Yeah. See what I mean? It just kind of, everything else blends nice. So I'm not going to use that darker color. Not in this case. It just seems to be too much of a difference. We'll stick with kind of the medium green color. Okay. All this shows up. Ooh, let's zoom in, eh? And again, this you can take little pieces of it. You can really, really tease it out. Oops, I'm zoomed in so far. I apologize, you can't see. Really, really thin. Use a, sneak it down in there. This looks like it's rough, brambly growth going on there along the edge. Kind of working that in. Nice. Put a little piece back here. And this is the kind of thing that you do, and then you stop and you come back a little while later, a week, whatever. I mean, this is not done. I mean, I'll go ahead and stop this and at some point post it, but it doesn't mean I'm done. I think you know what I mean. You always come back and kind of fiddle with things and do things later after you let it set for a while, let it grow on you. You gotta see how that's starting to blend together nice. Okay. And you can even take some. Put it out in the middle of the field just to give you some variety. A little bit of different growth out there. Could be a little more sparing with this, but just to kind of highlight certain things, certain area. Again, you can really pull this nice and thin. And then the cool thing is, like all this, you don't have to glue it in. You just now, if you come here with a vacuum, of course you might lose some of this, but it does stick in there nice. Again, if I have strong enough winds in here to worry about blowing this off, I got a lot more problems than losing some of my scenery. As if my house is blowing down. Kind of work that along the edge of the path there. All right. Okay. I like that little vertical there. These little things are sticking up. I like it. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. Maybe okay. Doing that there along the edge. Oops, I don't know if you can see that, but what I wanted to do there, let's way at that end, kind of helps tie. Oops, sorry. Kind of helps tie in some of the edge of this teddy bear fur to the rest of it. Makes it look like it's. Okay, not too bad. Let me take off the tripod to get a view from above and see what you think. Alright, so there's the field from above. Kind of all blended together into a nice wild looking little area. Does it look okay? Yeah, you tell me. Now Again, almost to the point where I'm going to stop. But what I want to do is a couple more things. I have some ideas for out here at this edge. Do a couple little things. So let's take care of that. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to work kind of along this back edge here. And what I'm going to use are some of these little Polack 9104. These are low bushes, medium green. And I'm going to use some Polack. These are wild bushes, or they call them high bushes. 9224. Also medium green, so the colors are somewhat consistent. And for these, I just cut them out. They come in a sheet like this. And I just kind of cut them out with scissors, which I've done. There's two more. If I need two more, I'm going to get a couple in and see what it looks like. So let's, tweezers. Where'd I put my tweezers? Where'd they go? I just had them. Don't you have any? Oh, they're right here. Alright. So again, these, all you need is some 3-in-1 glue. Dab on it. And again, these are just kind of work down. Work these down here. This little edge between these two fields here. Let's see what makes sense here. I'm going to take one of these little bushes. Tiny little bushes. I'll try to see if I can get him in there. Ah! I ripped it in pieces. Okay. Now, this one that I kind of destroyed, I want to salvage it. Again, try to do this. Let's see if this works. Kind of stick it right there. Just kind of get some. just kind of works that far edge there. Maybe something on the outside of that larger one. I don't know why I say that, but I say that. Okay. All right, for now, let's see what's next. Oops, I forgot to turn the camera back on. What I did was I added just a couple more bushes. You can see up there. Added one there in the field. Out here, a couple little ones there just for some variety. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I want to put some vertical weeds in, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to cut some of these wild bushes, also from Pollack, into smaller pieces, and then stick them in. So I'm going to stop. I'll get those ready, and then we'll put those in the field. All right, I got a little ahead of myself. What I've been doing, I took some, this is Pollack. Oh man, that's even legible. These are wild bushes. I think it's supposed to be blueberries, but whatever. And what I do, they come on a kind of a big honking sheet. And if you can see it, they have a real nice texture. So I kind of cut some of those out, and I use the upper ends as vertical weeds. So I have a whole bunch of them cut up over there. And then what I do, I just go around and stick them in. So I guess we can show a little bit of that, just to kind of see how they go when we put them in. Alright, so like I said, I'll just kind of stick these wherever the mood strikes me. I don't really plan a lot of this. I just kind of pick up some and away we go. Yeah. I like to put these out along the outer edge. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is probably put some filigree bush in there, filigree bushes. So let me clean up and we'll do a little bit of that. Alright, so I put a couple more of those little weeds around, even some out here on the edge. They're tough little hombres and they're out there. Hey, you looking at me? I'm trying to grow here. So they're out there at the edge, and then what I want to do is use some of the filigree bush. I put one piece way there at the end, right there. And what I want to do, what I think might look interesting, is to put, no, I want to call it a tree, just kind of some scraggly looking thing, like right about there. But the issue here is, this is plywood, so that's going to be an issue. Because normally if I want foam, I poke a little hole. So what I'm going to try to do, let's see if this works, is drill a 1/16 inch hole somewhere in here. even be big enough. Actually, it isn't. I'll have to pop it up one size. Alright, so we'll go with 330 seconds. Now, let's fit. Yes. Now, real quick. Just gonna get some of that up here. Okie. Then, this is kind of a gnarly drop piece that was from the inside of the container. Get some glue on that. That's probably a little bit too much glue on that. Don't need a whole lot. And then, boom. Just some nice scraggly thing growing there in the middle of that field. Not in the path, off to the side, but alright. I'm going to go back and here's the filigrane busha, good stuff. Actually, here's the, this will show up okay. They call it filigree bushes, although in German I've seen it as filigrane busha. So I'm going to just cut up some little pieces and then come back and we'll put some of those around. Okay, I'll try to show what I do. I mean, you get, you know, big pieces like this, but you're not going to just plop, well, I guess you could, but what I like to do where this stuff really shines, I think, are the smaller pieces. The smaller, oh, look at that. See that? That is beautiful. Nice little, I don't know, shrub, weed type deal. Something like that might work more in more of a forested area. But there's no real serious trees around here. Now, that probably could be a bush. You know, we could use that here at the end or something like that. Yeah, I may keep that out as an option. And some of these you can actually use as trees. I have, but I don't have. I'm not going to have any real big trees in here. So what I tend to do is just kind of pick off some of the tiny little branches, nice, and use these as little shrubs. In fact, something like this, you can even take and use that little guy, and then take this one. Boom, beautiful. All right, so that's all you do. Just kind of go through here, and these might be, I don't know if they're sea foam or what they are, but they're, because they do have the, you know, these little sea foam like things. Like I recognize these from like this, the Scenic Express super trees. These little doodads in here, whatever they're called, I don't know. And they're hard to get out because these guys coat these. Oh, look at that. That's a gem. With the with the foliage. But these little things, you got to come out. You got to pick through. They're in there. Very similar to the woodlands or the super tree stuff. But this stuff is just beautiful. Anyway, all right. So actually, I probably have enough. I'm not going to do too much more. I'm just going to go ahead and get some of these placed, and then we'll wrap this up. All right. So like I said, what I like to do. Let's get some of these, and this is a little more difficult because it is on the plywood. Normally I will try to poke holes in the foam just to stick them in, but if you take little ones like this, and again you're just gonna, I'm gonna do in this case is probably cut it pretty darn short. Get a little dab of glue. Get around there. There we go. And this stuff just kind of whoop. Yeah. Now we got some scenery going on. And they just add a little bit of variety, a little bit of texture to it. I wouldn't call them, they're not really trees, they're more just kind of scraggly, scrubbly stuff, just kind of growing around. And I don't know where I just kind of go and then, pooh! Okay, here we go. Yeah, baby. Here's a nice one. See, that's a little bit bigger. In fact, you can even kind of go like this sometimes and do something like that. But I'd almost have to drill a hole for that one, just because, again, it's not, it's on the darn plywood. It'll look kind of cool growing in a gauge, wouldn't it? It'll be kind of neat here at the end. Again, kind of like at the very end of the siding, because you know it's disused. You know what? Let's try something here. Let's just try something quick here, just for the fun of it. Never been tried before by human hands. No, I can't say that. Here. Ah! Got some of that stuff with it. And I lost the hole. There it is. It's a very dangerous art. Now, where did I put that? There it is. See that? Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Oh my gosh. The glue bottle's exploding. I'm going to take this. Need to get more glue. I'm just going to stick that like that. There's one little horizontal piece. I'm just going to snip that. Alright, I like that. Okay. Like I said, this is looking interesting. This might be able to be used probably in this back side. I think I'm going to use it on the back side there. It might be a little... But again, there's scenery all over this layout, so I got to work on all sides. So I'm going to take a little dab of this. Put it back here on this side of the field. Okay. Trust me, it looks nice over there. And then, so you kind of get the idea, but yeah, I really do like this filigree embouche. I just think it's perfect for this type of low and shrubby, and it looks so good. It's just really realistic looking, in my opinion. Spot for another one, something like that. Okay, you want it to be three-dimensional. Scenery is three-dimensional. Where's a good spot for another one? Over here. How's that looking? See, that might be enough for now. Like I said, looks a lot better than just the teddy bear fur I started with. Hard to believe I started with some scrap pieces, eh? We kind of got to this. See, here's another one that's not a bad looking little horizontal bush. I wonder if I could put that somewhere. So even these little tiny pieces, these are all usable. There's the one nice thing about this, there's very little waste. I mean, there's some, but really you can use a lot of this stuff. And you just we go. I really think it would be cool to have a weed come up in the gauge, but I do need to bring cars in there eventually, so won't do that. Could that possibly be there? I like it kind of a little more clean over there. Not really sure. All right, I'm going to hold off. Well, what about over there? Kind of, hey, you know what? Hey, how about it? Just a mucky thing kind of growing along the tracks there. So we'll get a little bit of glue on it. Just a little bit of an alcove there. Huh. Just put that little bad boy in there. Okay. Okay. That's probably about all I want to do. Just because you find you gotta take a break, come back later, tomorrow, let it sit, see what you think. And again, none of this stuff is really hard to remove if you think you've done too much. It is easy to undo what you've done, if and you don't liken it. Here's another nice little one. So we don't have anything over here on this little quadrant. Let's put a bad boy right there. Okay. There we go. All right. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to put a whole lot of real high stuff in there. There's another one kind of like a... Okay. Let's do this. This looks like a nice ground-hugging bush. It looks like it belongs right there. Sometimes that glue puts little strings everywhere. Get down there, boy. Okay. All right. You know what? We're going to call it here. This video is going to be way long. Too long. And like I said, kind of got to let that sit. So that's what we got. Okay, there you go. That's how we do it. Like I said, I'll let that sit for a while. Think about it. There's probably some more details I can think of to add in that field. Maybe a couple, I don't know, we'll see. But again, there's not a whole lot of, trees per se in that area. So that's it. That's how we do it. What do you think? Hopefully this video wasn't too long. It's going to be a long video again. But if you want to see how we do it, you kind of got to bear with me here. So, okay, here we go. A nice grassy field. Alright, just for fun, I had one of the buildings I had. And a nice weathered old box car. Going to see how everything could look together. I'm probably not going to use that building there, but actually, I'm trying to sell that building. It's the Walthers REA transfer building. Lighted interior details, fire escape added, rooftop details added. Anyway, it's not a sales pitch, but all right. So there it is. There's the field with the siding track. I can't. I'm holding the camera out far, so I can't really see. So hopefully this is coming in okay. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. You can get that up there. Let us know what you think. This is gonna be a long one, but hopefully it was helpful. I like it, and you know, again, that started with a scrap piece or 2 scrap pieces of teddy bear fur, and we have a an okay looking field there now. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and more to come as we get things moving along here.